That's a great question. Being that my background is education, I've been an educator since the ripe old age of 22. Started teaching at a college and so forth. So that's my background. So the first thing is I'm going to definitely fight to restore the funding of higher education. I think that's very important. Too many times we've had folks who are willing to just kind of go with the status quo. And I think, again, education definitely needs to be funded. One of the things, again, I am an educator, and I've been working with Representative Kenny Cox. He's a state legislator currently, Representative Kenny Cox, and I was his executive assistant. We pushed dual enrollment down into the high school, offering it to ninth graders, and I implemented that at Southern Shreveport, and we saw tremendous gains in students participating in dual enrollment. One advantage that we presented to students was the dual enrollment was free of charge. They didn't pay one dime. So they begin their college experience early on, sooner. And we're trying to get it whereby when a student graduates from high school, they walk out with a college credential, which would again attract more business in the industry here because we have more folks that are trained. And I think we do have to maybe, and this is a pretty deep conversation, but look at a constitutional convention. We have to look at how we're appropriating our dollars. And that's again, a pretty deep conversation, but it's something that we need to look at in the very near future in order to open things up in regards to funding and dedicated funds, because as we know, education is not being funded at the proper amount. And we can work it better. The meetings I've been in with Representative Cox, and fortunate that I was able to sit in those meetings and learn and observe, was that we have a lot of good, pockets of programs or pockets of strategies that are good, but they don't necessarily fit or flow together. And we have to look at things comprehensively to see how we can make things flow. For an example, with the new Jump Start program that's designed to enhance the workforce through community and technical education, but also still having that academic pipeline, we found that didn't fit in with the requirements to get TOPS Tech. But that doesn't make sense. And TOPS Tech is the scholarship program to enhance the workforce and encourage students to go into career and technical education. Well, the Jump Start program in the public school system didn't fit with the actual scholarship program. You had to take chemistry, for an example, in order to get TOPS Tech. Well, most students going into welding or pipe fitting won't be taking chemistry. So those type things are just common sense things that would help money flow to students, to higher educational institutions. But I think common sense approaches that no matter Democrat or Republican, black, white, male, female, you can kind of come to those common agreements to say, hey, those things don't make sense. Let's open it up for more students. Because we see that we did an analysis with the Board of Regents, Bessie Board, and facets of the legislature, and we found that many folks weren't taking advantage of TOPS Tech. So I think that's a way to open it up and also create more revenue streams for higher education, and they can go out and recruit more students as well, and that'll work hand in hand in order to help themselves grow, from bottom up.